support the independent garden centre team with some of their marketing and creative services. And today we're going to run through a few quick tricks that might help you when it comes to creating your Instagram stories. For those unfamiliar with Instagram, stories are vertical photos or videos that can run up for 15 seconds and disappear 24 hours after being posted. For users of the app, stories will appear here and can be accessed from clicking the company's profile image from within either the newsfeed or directly from their profile. Stories will typically be predominantly viewed by your existing follower audience. They're not generally the best source of finding new followers, but they can be a great opportunity to provide value to your existing followers and to keep them engaging with your content. We've mentioned before how even your followers will stop seeing your content if they stop engaging with it. Viewing or interacting with your stories counts as one of these forms of engagement, and in this way, utilizing stories can be one of the easiest ways to help ensure your content continues to show up in your customers' feeds. If someone mindlessly viewing your story counts as engagement, well, for most of us, that's going to be a lot easier to make happen than to have someone actually like a post. We have two goals with our stories to maximize the benefits of our followers' engagement with us. We want them to view as much of the story as possible, and even better if they engage with it. This could be a like, a comment, or share, but it could also be as simple as having them click on something within your story, such as a sticker, which we'll go through in just a second. But if we can get people engaging with your stories more, Instagram will not only continue to show them more of your stories, but it will also keep showing them your posts and reels, and anything else you're doing on the platform is going to keep showing up in their feeds as well. So let's jump into our quick tips and tricks. Some of these might be more basic than others depending on where you sit in your Instagram journey. So I'll throw up some timestamps and you can just skip anything that you've already mastered. Tip 1, Instagram stickers. If you've ever watched a few stories yourself, you're bound to have come across Instagram stickers in your travels. These are things like the polls, ask a question, the slider scale, and so on. Each of these presents simple ways the viewer may interact directly with your post. Let's touch on the top 3. So polls. These can be used to help share your knowledge with your audience and take them through an interactive pop quiz. They get used a lot for this or that type of content. These are especially great because, let's face it, they are pretty darn mindless, and the effort involved to engage with your content is just so minimal, your audience is far more likely to just play along. And I say play along very deliberately because when used well, this creates a bit of a game, making your users' experience with you just that little bit more fun. In the same way, the slider scale can be used as well. Ask them to rate something or to pick from a selection. By the way, you can scroll all the way along to the end to change which emoji is used on the slider. Lastly, the question box. Now, this one has been known to strike fear into the hearts of business owners because what happens if I post it and no one asks me a question? Doesn't matter, try again another time. Remember that stories only last for 24 hours, so what do you have to lose? Also, I'll let you in on a cheeky, devious marketing type person trick that I might have used in the past and it's totally worked. Let's say you have a bunch of extra stock of plant X arrive into your store and you'd like to promote it on Instagram. After sharing some beautiful images and maybe some general details, let's say you decide to use a question box at the end, something to the effect of, what else would you like to know about plant X? What I will sometimes do is then jump into my personal account, find that story, and submit a bunch of my own questions. Now, this might seem really weird, and you're probably sitting there going, well, hold on, this doesn't count as engagement, right? Because my followers weren't the ones that sent in the questions, and you are right. However, this still has advantages for 2 other reasons. Number 1, it's creating content for you. Remember, who asked the question is not revealed to the public, and I'm going to very deliberately ask questions that are positioned in such a way the business account now has the chance to showcase the product's benefits and features. I'm suggesting you use this opportunity to reveal the information you want revealed. Ask yourself questions that might help you sell the product. So let's say one of the benefits of Plant X is that it's really resilient and doesn't need much care. I might ask the question, I suck at keeping plants alive. Can this plant survive me? I can then jump into the business platform and say something like, Great question. This plant is a tough one. It only needs to be watered once a week and can handle a range of temperatures and lighting conditions. So it's the perfect plant for a beginner plant parent or for someone who gets easily distracted. And the second reason this can work is because a funny thing often happens when I do this. You might have heard of a psychological principle known as social proof. That is, when we see other people do something or support something, we suddenly become far more inclined to do it or support it ourselves. When I pull this trick, the really weird thing is I often get sent in a handful of genuine questions as well. So if it doesn't work, you still have some great content to help you demonstrate the benefits of the product you wanted to push. And if it does, you've just got some extra engagement on your account. You're not losing in either scenario. Of course, don't be too obvious with your questions. Please put on your Oscar award-winning actor's hat. Put yourself in your customer's shoes and have a think about what they might really need to know about the collection and what they might want to know about the collection, and then just gear your replies in such a way it's highlighting the benefits. Tip 2, use the link feature. So back in the day, you probably looked through other people's stories and saw that they had the option for you to swipe up and be sent through to a particular link. Super handy if you're featuring a particular product and would like to send people to exactly where they can purchase that product directly from your website. Except that the thing is that this feature is only available to accounts that have over 10,000 followers, which is so rude. Except now Instagram has added within their stickers a link option. So while you still can't use that swipe up feature unless you have 10,000 followers or more, you can add a link to your stories. It just operates a little bit more like a button. To do this, first copy the URL you want your story to go to, get your story up, and then select this link sticker. Paste the URL in here. You'll also have the option of changing the text which displays if you wish, especially a good idea if that URL is quite long, and you can also make for a better call to action. Remember, this is going to appear sort of like a button in your story and we want people to click it. Then voila, when people view your story, they can click now to go through to that link that you provided. Tip 3, let your stories expire. Now this tip might be your most favorite tip that I will ever give you, because for this tip, I want you to do nothing. I want you to take a break. You've earned it. This tip is to let your stories expire. So we know that a single story is only available for 24 hours. Then it disappears unless we reshare it or we post something else. Though it is a good idea to be posting stories semi-regularly, as they often get more views than your posts do, and we've already established can be a great way to keep that engagement up. You might have also noticed that a really interesting thing happens when you don't post a story for a while, which is when you finally do post that story after you've had a break, Instagram will send out a notification to all of your followers saying, so-and-so just posted a story for the first time in a while. If you've ever wanted a free shout out from Instagram, there it is. This helps to pique up people's interest in your content. So I would suggest doing a bunch of stories, taking a break, doing a bunch of stories, taking a break. Particularly if you're just about to launch something or you really have something that you want to have as many eyeballs on as possible. I would also suggest that after taking your break, for that very first story that you put out there, you make use of one of those sticker options. This is to really try and take advantage of that opportunity to get as much engagement as possible. So take that break and then run a this or that story series, for example. Tip 4, Instagram filters. I know, millennials and their filters, and yes, they can be really great if you need to get behind the camera and your child did not let you sleep much last night. But often when we go to try and film something, we can also find ourselves without the best lighting conditions, and a filter can sometimes help make our videos look that much more polished. There's also a bunch of special effects options in there, and maybe you guys can come up with something creative to do with them. So if you've ever been curious about how to add a filter, this is how you do it. Jump into your stories and you'll find down the bottom a series of bubbles. To the left might be any filters that you've saved previously, and to the right will be a few default filters or suggested filters for you to try. If you keep swiping right though, you'll come to the end and you'll see this search icon. Click through to that to be able to search through the entire library of filter content. For every filter, you then have the option to try it out for yourself and see if you like it, or to save the effect. So you can have the ones you use most easily to hand in future. Alternatively, if you happen to see a story that you like while you're just viewing other people's stories, have a look in the top left-hand corner to see if they're using a filter. If they are, you can click on this and you'll have those same options again. You can try it out for yourself or save the effect. I'll throw up a list of some filters that you might like to search for to see if they're right for you. Tip 5, change the background color. Have you ever just wanted to get a message out on your stories? You don't necessarily have an image you particularly want to use. You really just want to throw up some text, but Instagram is forcing you to use this really ugly rainbow background? Then this trick is for you. So to make the background another solid color, head into your stories. Take a photo of literally anything, a blank wall, for example. This is really just to get you off the default camera and bring up the options along the top here. Now for every phone, where this is might be a little bit different, but what you're looking for is the draw option. Yours, it might already just be right along the top there, but for me, it's in a drop-down menu. Now along the bottom here, select the color that you're after. You can hold down on any one of these if you want to get more gradients within that color as well. Once you have your color, tap on your screen and hold down for around 2 to 3 seconds. Your story should fill with that solid color, and voila, now you can add your text over the top. Quick and easy. So we're trying to keep this video relatively short and sweet, so that's it for today. We hope you have enjoyed these 5 quick tips and tricks for your Instagram stories. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Until next time, have a great day.